Good morning. Today is the 22nd day of November 2015, and we begin a new series entitled Seeking the New Poetry. For me, having read and been reading Savitri for more than half a century, there is no poetry to compare. Yet, in the future poetry, Sri Aurobindo gives us instances where a higher inspiration has descended into certain poets. And it is that has been so important to me in my life and yoga. This series is a selection I have made from many poets, a good number of them modern. But I also invite others to join and read poetry that they feel has an overmental touch, or at least descends from realms far above the mind. Actually, one could read in any language also. So I invite you all to contact us and offer your suggestions, or come here to the ashram and do a reading of poems that have moved you in your life. The future poetry was revised by Sri Aurobindo quite late, and although it was not completed, it has been published, and it contains such a wealth of joy for me, because he speaks of poets like Yeats and A.E., Carpenter, Phillips, and we'll touch on all of those in future sessions. Where to begin? Well, I had planned to begin with A.E., the great mystical poet of Ireland, or perhaps Mary Oliver, the American poet. But one has to begin with Sri Aurobindo. And so I've chosen two sonnets and a passage from Savitri, which is the first great description of the mother, which one of Sri Aurobindo's disciples said, of which he said, there is nothing higher. And Sri Aurobindo, in his humble, quiet way, acknowledged that there was a touch of the highest. So I will begin with Savitri, as Savitri is my life and my yoga, and begin with that first description of Savitri, the Divine Mother. All in her pointed to a nobler kind. Near to earth's wideness, intimate with heaven, exalted and swift, her young, large-visioned spirit, voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm, overflew the ways of thought to unborn things. Ardent was her self-poised, unstumbling will, her mind a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave. As in a mystic and dynamic dance, a priestess of immaculate ecstasies, inspired and ruled from truth's revealing vault, moves in some prophet cavern of the gods, a heart of silence in the hands of joy, inhabited with rich creative beats, a body like a parable of dawn that seemed a niche for veiled divinity or golden temple door to things beyond. Immortal rhythms swayed in her time-born steps. Her look, her smile, awoke celestial sense even in earth stuff, and their intense delight poured a supernal beauty on men's lives. A wide self-giving was her native act, a magnanimity as of sea or sky, enveloped with its greatness all that came, and gave a sense as of a greatened world. Her kindly care was a sweet, temperate sun, her high passion a blue heaven's equipoise. As might a soul fly like a hunted bird, escaping with tired wings from a world of storms, and a quiet reach like a remembered breast. In a haven of safety and splendid soft repose, one could drink life back in streams of honey fire, recover the lost habit of happiness, feel her bright nature's glorious ambience, and preen joy in her warmth and color's rule. A deep of compassion, a hushed sanctuary, her inward help unbarred a gate in heaven. Love in her was wider than the universe. The whole world could take refuge in her single heart. The great, unsatisfied Godhead here could dwell, vacant of the dwarf self's imprisoned air. Her mood could harbor his sublimer breath, spiritual, that can make all things divine. For even her gulfs were secrecies of light. At once she was the stillness and the word, a continent of self-diffusing peace, an ocean of untrembling virgin fire, the strength, the silence of the gods were hers. In her he found a vastness like his own. His high, warm, subtle ether he refound and moved in her as in his natural home. In her he met his own eternity. And he here refers to love. It's love, that divine love that only Savitri could harbor and hold. Two sonnets of Sri Aurobindo. The first, the divine hearing. All sounds, all voices have become thy voice. Music and thunder and the cry of birds, life's babble of her sorrows and her joys, cadence of human speech and murmured words, the laughter of the sea's enormous mirth, the winged plane purring through the conquered air, the auto's trumpet song of speed to earth, the machine's reluctant drone, the siren's blare, blowing upon the windy horn of space, a call of distance and of mystery. Blowing upon the windy horn of space, a call of distance and of mystery. Memories of sun-bright lands and ocean ways, all now are wonder tones and themes of thee. A secret harmony steals through the blind heart, and all grows beautiful because thou art. And the last three words, because thou art, begin the next sonnet, entitled, Because Thou Art. Because thou art all beauty and all bliss, my soul, blind and enamored, yearns for thee. It bears thy mystic touch in all that is, and thrills with the burden of that ecstasy. Behind all eyes I meet thy secret gaze, and in each voice I hear thy magic tune. Thy sweetness hunts my heart through nature's ways. Nowhere it beats now from thy snare immune. It loves thy body in all living things. Thy joy is there in every leaf and stone. The moments bring thee on their fiery wings. Sight's endless artistry is thou alone. Time voyages with thee upon its prow, and all the future's passionate hope is thou. The next poem many of us have heard many times, and it never loses a moment of its supernal beauty. A God's Labor. I have gathered my dreams in a silver air, between the gold and the blue, and wrapped them softly, and left them there, my jeweled dreams of you. I had hoped to build a rainbow bridge, marrying the soil to the sky, and so in this dancing planet midge the moods of infinity. But too bright were our heavens, too far away, too frail their ethereal stuff, too splendid and sudden our light could not stay. The roots were not deep enough. He who would bring the heavens here must descend himself into clay, and the burden of earthly nature bear, and tread the dolorous way. Coercing my Godhead, I have come down, here on the sordid earth, ignorant, laboring, human grown, twixt the gates of death and birth. I have been digging deep and long, mid a horror of filth and mire, a bed for the golden river's song, a home for the deathless fire. I have labored and suffered in matter's night to bring the fire to man, but the hate of hell and human spite are my meed since the world began. For man's mind is the dupe of his animal self, hoping its lusts to win. He harbors within him a grisly elf, enamored of sorrow and sin. The gray elf shudders from heaven's flame, and from all things glad and pure. Only by pleasure and passion and pain his drama can endure. All around is darkness and strife, for the lamps that men call suns are but halfway gleams on this stumbling life, cast by the undying ones. Man lights his little torches of hope that lead to a failing edge. A fragment of truth is his widest scope, and in his pilgrimage. The truth of truths men fear and deny. The light of lights they refuse. To ignorant gods they lift their cry, or a demon altar choose. All that was found must again be sought. Each enemy slain revives. Each battle forever is fought and refought through vistas of fruitless lives. My gaping wounds are 1,001, and the Titan kings assail. But I cannot rest till my task is done and wrought the eternal will. How they mock and sneer, both devils and men. Thy hope is a chimera's head, painting the sky with its fiery stain. Thou shalt fail. Thou shalt fall, and thy work lie dead. Who art thou that babblest of heavenly ease, and joy and golden room, to us who are waifs on inconscient seas, and bound to life's iron doom? This earth is ours, a field of night. For our petty flickering fires, how shall it brook the sacred light, or suffer a god's desires? Come, let us slay him and end his course. Then shall our hearts have release in the burden and call of his glory and force, and the curb of his wide white peace. But the God is there in my mortal breast, who wrestles with error and fate, and tramples a road through mire and waste for the nameless immaculate. A voice cried, "Go where none have gone, dig deeper, deeper yet, till thou reach the grim foundation stone and knock at the keyless gate. I saw that a falsehood was planted deep at the very root of things, where the grey sphinx guards God's riddled sleep on the dragon's outspread wings. I left the surface gods of mind and life's unsatisfied seas, and plunged through the body's alleys blind to the nether mysteries. I have delved through the dumb earth's dreadful heart, and heard her black mass bell. I have seen the source where her agonies part, and the inner reason of hell. Above me, the dragon murmurs moan, and the goblin voices flit. I have pierced the void where thought was born. I have walked in the bottomless pit. On a desperate stair my feet have trod, armored with boundless peace. Bring the fires of the splendor of God into the human abyss. He who I am was with me still. All veils are breaking now. I have heard his voice and borne his will on my vast, untroubled brow. The gulf twixt the depths and the heights is bridged, and the golden waters pour down the sapphire mountain rainbow ridged, and glimmer from shore to shore. Heaven's fire is lit in the breast of earth, and the undying suns here burn through a wonder cleft in the bounds of birth. The incarnate spirits yearn like flames to the kingdom of truth and bliss. Down a gold-red stairway wend the radiant children of paradise, clarioning darkness end. A little more, and the new life's doors shall be carved in silver light, with its aureate roof and mosaic floors, in a great world bare and bright. I shall leave my dreams in their argent air, for in a raiment of gold and blue there shall move on the earth, embodied and fair, the living truth of you.